Hey guys, it's Kat and I'm back today to let you know how I'm going with my Team Project Pan 2021. So this is a full face rolling project pan. It's just a way for me to use up products that are getting old or that I don't love anymore. And I sort of want them out of my collection, but instead of throwing them out, I'm trying to use them up. So what I'm pretty much doing, if you're new here, is pretty much picking almost a full face of products and then using those products most days when I do makeup and checking in every month and showing you my progress of what I've used up, what I'm using up, and what I'm rolling in to replace the things I've used up. I hope that makes sense. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, this month I've actually used up quite a lot of products. I have lost a product. I hope I find it. I don't know if I will, but I'll give it a month. If I don't find it, I'll roll something new in. But the things that I've used up, firstly, I've used up my finishing spray. So this is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist. So it has taken me quite a number of months to use it up. So I do mark my containers with nail polish so you can see the different months. So it's literally taken me 5 months to use this up, but it is completed. So that's a good thing. And I am rolling in my Mario Badescu. This is the facial spray with aloe, sage, and orange blossom. I thought this was a good one because I don't like the spray. It's like very... I much prefer like a microfine mister. And there's part of me that'd be like, oh, dump this into this bottle because this has a better mister. But there's something about me, I just like keeping the product in its original bottle unless it's broken. So I know there'll be people saying, depot it, put it into another thing. I just sort of like to, I don't know, I sort of feel like if I don't have the label and everything, I sort of forget what I'm using and what I'm targeting, and I don't know, it's some weird organization thing in my brain. I like to keep the products in the bottle. Anyway, so this is nearly full. I've just taken it out of my drawer. I think I've only used it a handful of times, and it's fairly small. So I'm hoping it won't take too long to use up because at least in the cooler months, so we're at the tail end of winter in Australia, I find that I don't use finishing sprays too much. I think it's one of those things that I like to use to sort of feel a little bit more refreshed in the warmer months. So I go through them a lot faster in the warmer months. So a small bottle is not too much pressure on me to see great progress. I've used up my cleanser. So this is the Good Molecules Rosewater Daily Cleansing Gel. I did explain, I think I only introduced this last month, but I did explain that I don't mind the product, but it is a glass bottle. And as I like to do my cleansing in the shower, I don't like having a glass bottle in the shower. I just feel like it's a recipe for disaster. This did actually fall once. Luckily it didn't break, but yeah, things happen, things fall, and I don't want smashed glass everywhere. So that's why I wanted to use this up, and I did use it up really fast. Now, to be fair, this is quite a thick glass bottle, so it looks like it's bigger than it is, but the bottom is probably about here, so it went from there to here, and I was using this firstly, I was using it every single day, but I was using it fairly liberally, so I was sort of using it on my chest and shoulders and stuff as well. So I did use it up very fast. And the cleanser that I'm rolling in is just one that I had in my shower. This is from Dr. Jart. It's the Cicapair Enzyme Cleansing Foam. This is a fine cleanser. It's not amazing. This range is designed for more sensitive skin, and I did buy quite a few things in this range because I do get like my skin can go quite red and can get quite irritated. I do have dermatitis on my eye that I have a steroid cream, prescription cream that I'm currently using to get rid of it. But I didn't feel like this range did too much at calming my skin. There's some products in this range that I do like. The cleanser's fine, but it's not one that I'm like, I must have in my life. So I'm targeting it to just, you know, work through it. Now it is currently up to about here, so I will end up marking that with nail polish. So there's the majority of it left, so it's going to take me quite a while. I also used up a body lotion. So this is the Electric Ink Tattoo Care Daily Moisturiser. So when I introduced it, it was up to here, and then last month it was there, and I've used it up. I didn't expect to use it up as fast as I did, but when I do think about it, it's a fairly small bottle, and I did use it not just on my tattoos. I used it wherever I wanted to put it, especially on my legs. I find, especially if I shave my legs or anything, my legs can get quite dry. So I went quite heavy-handed with this and it's done. I'm rolling in something a lot lighter and something a lot newer. It's just something I don't really need, and I thought, look, I'll see how it goes. But this is by Soul Body, so it's the body range. It's like the sister brand to Colourpop, and this is a brightening body serum. Now, I love the idea of a body serum. I feel like we focus so much on our faces but neglect like the vast majority of our skin, and I understand it because that's what people sort of look at, but you know, you do need to also look after the rest of your skin. I wanted to see if this does anything. So far, I'm not blown away, but it's early days. So I'm just targeting this because I have it open, and I was having a look around and I realized that pretty much all my body oils are now gone. I do have body moisturizers, but most of them are unopened, like put away. So this was open. I'm going to target it. So that's what we're doing. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I used up my MAC Fluidline. This is in past Twilight. So I'm going to try to remember to keep this jar back to MAC it and get a free lipstick when I return 6 items. I did mark these with nail polish, so I might zoom in and show you this. So hopefully you can see in that corner there's just a little slither that was like clear and left without nail polish, and that's how much I had left over from last month. Now I find MAC fluid lines are really, really, really good. They stay creamy like right to the very end. This at the very, very, very end, so that little slither was getting a little bit dry. So I did find that I had to use some Inglot Duraline to rehydrate it, just to get it like applying a little bit more smoothly and picking up on the brush a little bit easier. I think just in that sort of process of mixing it, there's a little bit of wastage. So I did use this up pretty fast, but I'm happy. Now I'm going to introduce 2 products to replace that, and it's not a gel liner, but I definitely know I want a bit of a break from a gel liner. If you'll notice today, I'm wearing no liner, and that's sort of what I've been doing lately. You know, with a toddler, it's sort of hard to find time to like precisely do my liner. So I'm sort of been rocking the no liner, sort of more minimal eyeshadow effect, and if I'm going anything bold, it's usually like a bright lip, so that's what I've been doing. So I am introducing some other liners, but I don't want to commit to a gel liner, if that makes sense. So I've decided to target my Colourpop. This is a liquid liner in the shade Grande, which is a brown, so it's just a brown, liquid liner brown. And I just thought that that's an easy one. Sometimes I do like to just do a little tiny wing just in the outer corner, so not all the way along the lash line, just to sort of lift my eyes a little bit and sort of mimic lashes, I guess. So I thought I'll introduce that. And yeah, look, I figure it's going to go dry soon anyway. I've had it for a while and it's Colourpop, and some of their liners do tend to dry out, so I just thought I'll get most use out of it. Then I thought I'd also introduce a pencil liner purely for the reason that my toddler snapped it in half. So this is the Rimmel Scandalise Kohl Kajal waterproof liner in the shade Sparkling Black. So it's a black with shimmer in it, and this is what it looks like. It is creamy at the moment. These pencils are really awesome. I do love using them on like the waterline and whatnot. But because this is broken, not only does the lead fall out of this one, so you can sort of poke it and it falls out, but I know that that's going to dry out because it's so exposed to the air. So I sort of want to use this up before it does that. Now, I don't know if I'm going to use them as 2 pencils, like a mini pencil here and another one there, or if I'm just going to stick them together. I might do that just because it will prevent the lead inside from falling out when I'm using it. So I might try to like just tape it together and then see how I go with it. I inevitably it will dry out probably before the time I can use it up. And I don't use black eyeliners too often unless it's like a gel or a liquid that I can use as a liner on the top lash line, but I'm sure I can sort of use this and sort of smudge it out a bit. So yeah, I'm introducing this just because it's broken. I also used up my lip balm. So this is my ultraviolet Sheen Screen Hydrating Lip Balm in the shade Peach. I didn't mind this, but at the same time, it didn't work super well into my routine. Now, what I mean by that is this is an SPF slightly tinted lip balm, so it's best to use when you're out and about. Currently, we're in lockdown. We've been in lockdown for 2 weeks in lockdown, 1 week out, 2 weeks back in, and it's probably going to be extended. And sort of either side and in between, we had rules we have to wear masks when we leave the house. So I don't have lips that are exposed to the sun because they don't see the sun. So the whole tinted SPF sort of benefit of this, I wasn't really using to its full potential. I mainly use this up before I went to bed, which is when I wear a lip balm anyway. I sort of do my skincare routine, put a lip balm or a lip treatment on, go to bed, and that's what I was doing with this. So it's done, and I'm glad it's done. I am actually replacing it with the Bite Agave lip balm. I actually thought I lost this throughout the month. There was a few days where I just couldn't find it, so I turned to my Bite Agave lip balm. I ended up finding it in the bottom of my handbag, so it was all good. I got to finish it. But because I did swap to this and I had this next to my bed, I thought, look, I'm going to keep using this in my project pan. Now, what happened last week was it was almost full and I was using it nicely and easily, but my toddler got his little mitts on them and dug his finger in it, so now it's a little bit mushed. So I'm not too sure, but it looks like a lipstick, but it was nice and flat, and a lot has been gouged out. So he's helping me with my progress on this, and because it is so messy now, I do really want to use it up. So I'll take a photo of this and we'll mark progress as I go. The last thing I used up was my perfume samples. I did have 6. I don't know why I've got 5 here, but I used up all 6. And these are just from Olfactive Studio, so I bought a little mini sample pack. I'm not going to roll in any other perfume at this stage. I think I do have some minis, but I can't for the life of me find them right now. And I'm just enjoying using the perfumes that I currently have in my collection. So I'm just going to get rid of these and roll in a perfume when I decide there's one that I want to focus on. All right, now on to the progress of the products that I haven't finished up. I've made heaps and heaps and heaps of progress on my foundation that I introduced just last month. This is the Mecca Max Life Proof Longwear Foundation. As you can see, it was down to here. It does have an airless pump, so as you use it up, there's a little platform that raises, and I mark it where the foundation is sitting. So I've only got this much left, and I used up that much last month. So I probably only have about a month and a half left up in here, which is good because I do have a foundation collection sort of try on review video that I filmed over a month ago, and for some reason sometimes there's videos where you're just like, I can't be bothered editing that. Like there's something about it where it's just like, it's gonna be tedious and it's gonna be boring and I just can't be bothered. And that's what that video was. I hope I still have the footage. I don't know if I do. So I have like 20 odd foundations in my collection at the moment, and I earmarked about 4 of them to use up, and this was one of them. So I'm happy that I'm doing well. Another product that I'm doing fairly well with is my hair oil. So this is the Oi oil from Davines. It's quite a heavy hair oil. I'm using this as like a leave-in treatment. Usually I'll put this in on a day where I'm planning on washing my hair, and I'll leave it in for a few hours and then I'll wash it out because normally it sort of is a bit heavy for my hair type. So I've had this in for a few months, and you can see the marking. So that's where it was up to. That was last month. That's this month. Now that doesn't look like much progress, but I think I've had this hair oil for quite a long time, and it's taken me a really long time to get down to here, just using it sort of normally in your hair, so a couple of pumps and putting it in your hair. It was only when I realized that that doesn't really suit my hair type that I've sort of been plowing through it as a hair treatment. So yeah, I am enjoying it as a hair treatment, but it's not something that works for me just every day in like clean, fresh hair. Product that I'm not loving, but I'm still making progress on. This is the Murad Invisiblur Protecting Sheild Broad Spectrum Primer. So it's like a silicone type primer. It's got a bit of SPF. I don't love this. As you can see with the marks, this is also an airless pump. So the platform started down here, or the product line, sorry, started down here. Last month it was here and now it's up to there. So again, I've probably got a couple of months left of usage from this. But to be honest, this is a little bit greasy on me, and I do have oily skin, and anything that sort of is greasy under my base sort of slides my makeup. So I've half been using this as a primer, half been using it as like a foot treatment sometimes when I'm sitting at my computer editing and I'm like, I want to put something on my feet. Sometimes I'll put a couple of pumps of this. So I'm not using this in the best way possible, but I don't love it, so what can you do? All right, I've got my paint pot. This is my MAC paint pot in Painterly. I love this. I use it as a base most days. Usually I try to clean up the pan so you can see it a little bit better. I didn't do that today. I forgot to do that. But what I've mainly been doing is actually working down the side instead of working on the pan. So the pan I don't think has gotten that much bigger, but there is usage down the side. So I'll zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. So there's the pan there, but you can see I've sort of been targeting the side. So normally it's like right up to the top almost, and I've sort of been working down the side. And I think I'll end up making the side and the bottom meet at some point, but yeah, I am using it consistently. From experience, I think I've panned a couple of paint pots in the past. They do take like a year of daily use to use up. So the fact that I'm sort of made a big dent in it and working down the sides at, look, the 7-month mark or whatever it happens to be is pretty typical. I don't know if I'll finish this by the end of the year because I'm not using it every day, but I really like it. So if it goes longer, then I'm happy. All right, I haven't made much progress on my mini nail polish. Last month I made heaps of progress and I pretty much almost exclusively used this product. I currently have it on my toes, but you can see I don't have it on my hands. So it's my Opi Red Nail Polish, and I'll zoom in. So when I introduced it, it was right up to the top, so it had barely been used. Last month it was down to the blue, and now it's down to the pink. So in the last month I've barely made any usage, but that's mainly because I think I've only used this on my toes once and my fingers once, whereas I think the month before I think I used it on my toes like twice and on my fingers like 4 times. So I'm sort of vibing the brighter, more pastel shades at the moment, so this one isn't getting as much use as it did. All right, now we're on to weighing products. So the products that you can't see visual progress on, I do weigh them. We'll start with my Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. All right, awesome. So this was at 23.44 grams and now it's around 22.8. So I am getting good usage out of that, which I'm happy about. The bronzer that I introduced last month, so this is my Chanel bronzer. You can see that there is a bit of a dent in that because I have been using it pretty much every day. And what I tend to do is I'll take my stippling brush, or I'll take like my foundation brush, generally like a kabuki brush, and I'll just like swirl my brush in it so you can see it's getting a bit of a dent going on. But I believe I did weigh this, so let's see the weight difference. All right, so that was at about 132 grams and now it's around 128 and a half. So I'm definitely making, look, if I'm using grams of this cream bronzer, I'm doing all right. This claims to only contain 30 grams of product. So, you know, look, there's still plenty to go, but I'm happy with the progress. All right, I have really high hopes that I will have seen some progress on this eyeliner. It's a Marc Jacobs Fine Wine eyeliner. So it's one of the ultra skinny liners. If you want to know the specific names of products that I talk about in here, I will have them listed in the description box. But last month I really didn't see any progress because these are so small. I believe the weight difference didn't change. Whereas in the last month, I've used this quite a lot. In my last update, I did mention like if I'm not making good progress, I might use it as like a lip liner or something, but I really didn't need to because I really enjoyed using it as like a winged liner. I find this formula really good for the waterline because it's very creamy and it applies to the waterline with not much effort, and it can be a little bit too soft for the top lash line because it is a very, very soft, smudgy sort of formula that if you do apply it to the top lash line, sometimes it can sort of just smudge, if that makes sense. But I think because it's in winter, which means the pencils are a little bit firmer, I am finding it a really nice effect and a really pretty shade on the top lash line. So I haven't needed to resort to using this as a lip product, and I am feeling like if I did do that, it would be a waste. I'd much prefer to just use this as a nice burgundy wing when I feel like it because it's a beautiful effect. So I think there's going to be progress. Yep, we're seeing progress. So last month it was 5.19 grams and now it's around 5.0708 grams. So I am definitely seeing some good progress here, and I do feel like if I keep using it at the same rate, it'll probably be done next month. But again, I've got a few other liners now, so I'm not going to force a burgundy liner. I'm just going to use it when I feel like it, use the black when I feel like it, and use the liquid brown as I feel like it. All right, powder time. This gets a bit confusing, so if you're not following, that's fine. I essentially wanted to target two powders that I didn't like individually, but I like them mixed together. So I've got my Revlon. This is just a loose finishing powder. It's a little bit too dark for me, and when I do apply it, it can look dark and patchy, so I don't like it on its own. This Uemura Lightbulb Colorless powder. It's very nice. It's very, very illuminating. You could actually use this as a really subtle highlighter. It's a little bit light for me, even though it's colorless, and it's a little bit too illuminating. So together, these make a really nice, slightly illuminating setting powder. Often I find powders that are illuminating, like for example, the Hourglass ambient lighting powders, they add a luminosity, but they don't set your makeup down. So even though I don't mind a bit of a glow, I also need some setting. So I like mixing these together. So what I ended up doing was pre-mixing a bunch of it into this Too Faced Peach Perfect empty powder tub. And I've since used up what I pre-mixed. So I was weighing this last month because that's what I was sort of using. So what I'll do is I'll weigh this because I'll be able to tell from last month how much I used up. And then what I'll do after this video is mix more of these into here and weigh that as well. So last month the combined powder was 95.5 grams roughly, and now it's just under 90 grams. So I used up just over 5.5 grams, and now I know how much this container weighs, so whatever I add to it, I'll know how much product is in it. Last thing is my Ironclad Thermal Protectant Spray from Joico. This is a hair product that I always forget to use. So last month that was at 126.45 grams, and now it's at around 118.3 something. So I've used a bit of it, but realistically I think I've only used this once. Again, if I was to use this every time I washed my hair, this would be done. But I just keep forgetting. And I think I did explain in my last video that this is too tall for where I keep my normal hair products. So I have to put it in a cupboard, and that's why I forget to use it. So I only really remember like once or twice a month, which is a shame, but I'm keeping it in because I feel like it's down to here and there's really not much left. So we'll get there eventually. All right, the missing product this month is my brow pencil from Mac. So I did introduce it, I think, last month, and I was using it quite a lot and then it disappeared. So I feel like it is a product that maybe my toddler found and put somewhere. So again, I will keep an eye out for that in the next month. I was doing really well with that. I think I could use it up pretty fast because it's a micro pencil. But if I don't find it, I'll just have to find another brow product to put into this project pan. So I'll keep an eye out for that in the next month. But if I haven't found it by next month, I'm just going to consider it gone for good, and I'll introduce a new brow product. So that's my project pan, and I'm happy with the progress. I've used up quite a few products this month, and all the products in here, even if I don't love them, I like using them and they're easy to use on a daily basis. So I'm really happy with how things are going, except for that bloody hair protectant thing. Anyway, I can hear my squealing kid in the hallway, so I better get going. Bye.